Hello, good friends, and welcome to Kelly's Wordy Reactions. I want to thank you so much for stopping by today. If you would, please hit the thumbs up and like the video as you come in. Also, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I am so happy you decided to stop by. All right, so I was listening to the latest phone call from Phone Calls from Prison. Shout out to the folks over at Phone Calls from Prison. Um, Now, for what I was for what I was trying to remember about looking at Phone Calls from Prison today, I was reminded that I never did get back to the indictments, or I never did get back to the RICO. And I wanted to go through all of the acts and really just look at everything that Nesto is being charged with under that RICO. All right, let's see. Now I'm going to go ahead and throw in my cute little background music. So let's put that in. So then I'm going to throw up my shared screen. And here's the one I want to share. All right, and so we're going to get right back into reading from Act 7. So when I first began, I did Act 1 through 6. So I'm going to just jump right back in at Act 7. If you want to hear Act 1 through 6, then you can go back to my video and I will I'll link it. I'll link my video in the description, and you can go back there and you can listen to the reading from Act 1 through 6 of this RICO for Ernest Williams. Okay, so let me make sure everything is showing up over here. And I believe it is. Okay. It's going to take my music down a couple of notches. All right. In Act 7, it reads, now I'm not going to read the code numbers and all of that, so I'll just say, what will I say? Something about the code, and I'll know when I get there. Okay, so it reads, on or about December 16th, 2014, Ernest Williams committed the felony offense of filing false documents in violation of said code. So that's what I'm going to say, said code. Okay, in Fulton County, Georgia, by unlawfully and knowingly causing to be filed, entered, and recorded a document titled Marriage License Application number 2014-6319 in the probate court of Fulton County, Georgia, knowing and having reason to know that the document was false and contained the materially false statements that each of Ernest Williams's prior marriages had been dissolved by divorce, and that Ernest Williams was not subject to any legal impediment or other reason Ernest Williams should not be married. This was an act of racketeering activity pursuant to said code. Okay, so that's why they're charging him with that, because of that. All right, Act 8. On and between May 1st, 2017 and August 31st, 2017, the exact date being unknown to the grand jury, Ernest Williams committed the felony offense of theft by deception in violation of Kentucky REV which is, I think, said code in Fayette County, Kentucky, by obtaining United States currency, the property of Chantel Hawker. So he got money from Chantel Hawker in Kentucky, the value of which exceeded $10,000 by deception and with intent to deprive said owner of said property by creating and reinforcing a false impression as to intention and state of mind. This was an act involving theft, which is chargeable under the laws of the state of Kentucky and which is punishable by imprisonment for more than 1 year and an act of racketeering activity pursuant to said code. Okay, so apparently we don't need to know the exact date. We just know it's on and between May 1st, 2017 and August 31st, 2017. And Chantel Hawker alleges that he deceived her into getting $10,000 or in a number that is in excess of $10,000 from her. Okay. By creating and reinforcing a false impression. Okay. Act 9. On or about November 3rd, 2017, Ernest Williams committed the felony offense of theft by taking in violation of said code in DeKalb County, Georgia, by unlawfully taking a 1998 Provost vehicle, the property of Carlos Torres, the value of which exceeded $24,999.99, with the intention of depriving said owner of said property. This was an act of racketeering activity pursuant to said code. And on the other video that I did, we found out that this 1998 Provost is a motor coach, a recreational vehicle motor coach. Okay. We need Act 10 now. Pull it up. Okay, Act 10. On or about November 11th, 2017, Ernest Williams committed the felony offense of deposit account fraud in violation of said code in DeKalb County, Georgia, by making, drawing, and delivering a check, an instrument for payment of money on a bank, to Carlos Torres in the amount of $9,000 for the present consideration of a 1998 Provost vehicle, knowing that said check would not be honored by the drawee. This was an act involving theft, which is chargeable under the laws of the state of Georgia and which is punishable by imprisonment for more than 1 year and an act of racketeering activity pursuant to said code. Okay, so this is connected to the 1998 Provost. Looks like he gave Carlos Torres a check for $9,000 and it would not be honored. This was not a good check. Okay. Act 11. On or about January 4th, 2018, Ernest Williams committed the felony offense of theft by bringing stolen property into state in violation of said code in Fulton County, Georgia, by bringing a 2011 Rolls-Royce Ghost vehicle, the property of Specialty Car Collection, the value of which exceeded $24,999.99 into the state of Georgia, knowing said property had been stolen in Los Angeles, California. This was an act of racketeering activity pursuant to said code. That needs no explanation. Act 12. On or about January 22nd, 2018, Ernest Williams committed the felony offense of theft by taking in violation of said code in Fulton County, Georgia, by unlawfully taking United States currency, money, straight up. Oh, I've been listening to these calls for too long. Straight up cash. The property of Juan Smith. So, okay, so theft by taking. He took money from Juan Smith, the value of which was at least $5,000, but less than $25,000, with the intention of depriving said owner of said property. This was an act of racketeering activity pursuant to said code. All right. Act 13. On or about February 3rd, 2018, Ernest Williams committed the felony offense of grand theft auto in violation of California, looks like Penal Code, and that said code. In Los Angeles County, California, by feloniously stealing, taking, and driving away a 2008 Fleetwood Providence vehicle, the personal property of Rebecca Baker. This was an act involving theft, which is chargeable under the laws of the state of California and which is punishable by imprisonment for more than 1 year, and an act of racketeering activity pursuant to said code. Did I look up the 2008 Fleetwood Providence vehicle? I think I'm gonna have to look it up because I just feel like I want to see it too. Let's see. Okay. Get some images. Okay. It's also a motor coach. And you know what? I feel like I showed it. So if you want to see it, I'm not going to undo the screen. But if you want to see it, then it is in the last video with Act 1 through 6 and it also looks just like, it's got the pop out side windows. It looks just like one that he was using in his Instagram videos. So unfortunately, we can't see the Instagram videos anymore. So unfortunate. Let me go over here because I want y'all to see. Stop sharing and share something else. All right, these are the 2008 Fleetwood Providence vehicles. And the one on the top row and around about the 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth one on the top row is the one that I feel that I've seen. I feel like we were looking at one that closely resembles that one. But nevertheless, this is what is being alleged he took from this victim. So let's stop sharing this and go back over. And share this. Okay. So once again, Grand Theft Auto in Los Angeles County, California, stealing, taking, and driving away this Fleetwood Providence from Rebecca Baker. Okay, let's keep going to Act 14. Okay, Act 14. On or about February 3rd, 2018, Ernest Williams committed the felony offense of making or delivering check with insufficient funds in violation of California Penal Code, said code, in Los Angeles County, California, by, for himself, willfully, with intent to defraud, making a check in the amount of $20,000 to Rebecca Baker for the payment of money, knowing at the time of that making that he had not sufficient funds in the bank for the payment of that check and all other checks then outstanding in full upon its presentation. This was an act involving theft, which is chargeable under the laws of the state of California and which is punishable by imprisonment for more than 1 year and an act of racketeering activity pursuant to said code. Okay, so he gave Rebecca a check for the vehicle as well. Okay, Act 15. On or about October 13, 2018, Ernest Williams committed the felony offense of theft by taking in violation of said code. Let's see, where am I? In Henry County, Georgia, by unlawfully taking a Big Tex 20PH trailer, the property of Big Tex Trailer World, the value of which was at least $5,000, but less than $25,000, with the intention of depriving said owner of said property. This was an act of racketeering activity pursuant to said code. So, theft by taking on the Big Tex trailer. Okay, Act 16. Let's get to it. All right, Act 16. On or about October 13, 2018, Ernest Williams committed the felony offense of deposit account fraud in violation of said code in Henry County, Georgia, by making, drawing, and delivering check number 888, an instrument for the payment of money on Wells Fargo Bank, a bank located within the state of Georgia, to Big Tex Trailer World in the amount of $9,589.03 for the present consideration of a Big Tex 20PH trailer. knowing that said check would not be honored by the drawee. This was an act involving theft, which is chargeable under the laws of the state of Georgia and which is punishable by imprisonment for more than 1 year, and an act of racketeering activity pursuant to said code. All right, let me go find my phone. I'll be right back. Act 17. On or about November 15, 2018, Ernest Williams committed the felony offense of grand theft in violation of California Penal Code, said code, in Orange County, California, by feloniously stealing and taking labor and personal property of Source Motors, Inc., including a fender well rack, Momo steering wheel and adapter, headlights, center console rack, D-ring guard, windshield brush guard, and mirror set, the value of which exceeded $950. This was an act involving theft, which is chargeable under the laws of the state of California and which is punishable by imprisonment for more than 1 year, and an act of racketeering activity pursuant to said code. Okay, going to Act 18. Okay, Act 18. On or about November 15, 2018, Ernest Williams committed the felony offense of making or delivering check with insufficient funds in violation of California Penal said code in Orange County, California, by, for himself, willfully, with intent to defraud, making and delivering a check in the amount of $6,361.88 to Source Motors, Inc. for the payment of money, knowing at the time of that making and delivering that he had not sufficient funds in the bank for the payment of that check and all other checks then outstanding in full upon its presentation. Oh my. Okay, so for some reason, the StreamYard just glitched and cut out, and now everything is back, but I'm not exactly sure which one of these acts we cut off on. So I'm gonna go ahead and end. That's all I got. I gotta pull the plug on this broadcast so that I can see where I am and how to proceed from here. So yeah, anyways, thank you all so much for stopping by and tuning in, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.